Okay, another one we come across a lot is somebody comes into a session and the back's stiffened up. Depending, it can be different obviously scales of that, so you might have somebody whose back's completely seized, or somebody who's just got wee niggle in the back from sitting at the desk or doing gardening at the weekend, or just lying funny in bed. So with all injuries, we need to always make sure we stay within the scope of a personal trainer. So I would do some basic mobilisers, some basic stretches. If you find that it doesn't respond to that, then it's referred to physio, but more often than not you'll find that a good stretching session can ease some of the back pain off. So we'll start off with pelvic rocks. So if the lumbar region's all seized up and stiff, we're going to do some pelvic rocks. So just rocking the pelvis back and forward, so changing that curve, tilting forward, pulling back up, just trying to free the lower back off. And if we think about the anatomy of the lower back, so what tends to happen is a lot of times we don't really know why the back pain comes, but what tends to be happening is the muscles running into the back all tighten up in response to it. So you think about what runs into the lower back, you've got the lats running from the scapula, the humerus down into the pelvis, so a big muscle in the lats can tighten up. The glutes, which run diagonally into the lumbar spine, the hip flexors, the hamstrings, and then obviously just the rectus spine and all the muscles that are already the obvious ones in the lower back. So yeah, so I always try and loosen everything all round about the back. If you can ease these glutes and lats and just do a wee bit of movement, a lot of times it moves off, eases off. So we'll do the pelvic rocks, we'll do some lumbar rotations, so just palms facing up and just let the legs go side to side. And if they're really bad, I wouldn't rush this, I would just let them sit for a wee second, carefully take it up and over. So just side to side, slow, control, just getting that wee bit of lumbar rotation to try and ease it off. Then the next one we'll do the single leg knee hug. So I'm going to straighten my left leg down here. I don't think you can see the camera there, but just make sure the left foot's pointing straight ahead. If there's tightness in the hip, what can happen is the foot will turn off to the side. So just make sure the left foot's straight ahead. I'm grabbing the shin on the right hand side and I'm going to hug the knee to the shoulder and ease off, and just keep pushing the back of the knee into the ground. Hug and release. So I'm getting a stretch down the left hip flexor, quad type area, and the glutes and the lower back on the right hand side are getting a nice stretch. And obviously that on both sides, and then I can do some knee hugs. So just hug so if you imagine your tailbone here, I'm going to take the tailbone off the ground, do a big circle as if I'm stirring a pot, and drop it back down on the ground. So big circle, and back on the ground. And then I'll do the same going the other way. Just to, again, get a bit of movement into the lower back. Okay, and then I would do the hip flexor one. So knee down, left foot ahead, and again just make sure as I'm doing this one, it stays in the front of the body. If I'm getting a pull in the lower back, I would definitely get them to do the movement smaller. Just keep it in the front here. As I say, the hip flexor runs from the front of the pelvis, connects on to L3, I think, L2, and then curves the back that way. So just make sure, this is just to try and get it a wee bit loosened off the hip flexors. Now we'll look at above, so we're going to look at the lats. So for this one, I'm just going to push my bum down on the heels, let the forehead come towards the ground. And you can spend a good bit of time here, just stretching the lower back off. And then I'll take the hands off to the side, so take both hands, I'm going to work on the right hand side here. So take, excuse me, both hands off to the left, make sure that bum stays on the ground, and I'm just going to walk the fingers away. And all that does is just stretches the lats as it connects, and the humerus and on the scapula and into the lower back. So I'll just ease that off, and obviously do the same on the other side. So don't go too far around here. If I'm away around here, I've lost the stretch. So you just get them to a point where they're just keeping that stretch on and they're walking the hand away. And if I get this one right, a lot of the stretches on the outside of the shoulders are at connection for the lats. You can do a wee bit of cat-cow where I'm on all fours and I'm hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips, curve the back up, work to the belly button, flatten down, work to ceiling. So this does the whole spine, it's down thoracic and lumbar spine at the same time. Okay. TRX squats are good for back pain. Again, there's been research showing just going through the squat pattern eases a lot of the tension in the lower back. Make sure that when they finish the session with you, they keep moving. Recommend that they don't spend more than 20 minutes, half an hour in one position, whether that's seated or standing. The body doesn't like that posture for too long, so give them a few wee exercises they can do, stand up, move, even if it's just walking around the room a bit, just to keep that back moving. We'll do one more, if you can see the TRX straps from here. Here, I think. So TRX lat stretches is nice as well. Just as the hamstrings, the back, and the lats. So all I'm doing here is I'm holding the straps, push my bum up in the air here, and just let the chest sink down here, and then do a wee rotation on the straps. Okay, so I don't really see that thing. So this is the straps. I'm holding the straps here, I'm doing rotations there like that, get to straighten the legs, push the bum up, hold down, so that's a nice stretch through the calves, hamstrings, lower back, the rotation brings the lats in.